Hey guys, it's Tony Suits, formerly of Backwoods Biker Magazine and now Wood Tramp Outdoors Magazine. I got a battle box for you, the first of 2024. This is Mission 107, so hang tight. You're going to want to see this. All right, guys, welcome back. Yeah, we've made the full transition, and the first issue of Wood Tramp Outdoors will be out in a few weeks, and you will see some BattlBox in that particular issue. This is going to be a great magazine, and you know, I'll mention this. I've been keeping quiet on this in the videos and social media stuff, just because it's, you know, it's old news, but BattlBox has been such an integral part and a presence in Backwoods Biker Magazine. I know all of you are interested. You know, the magazine was started years ago based upon the premise of bikers going out into the woods. I and my friends loved going out on motorcycles out into the woods, Harleys, and I've been on motorcycles since I was 8 years old. And it just got to the point where, you know, I've had enough of the motorcycles. I still love them, but my body doesn't. Harleys are pretty tough to throw around, especially when you go off-road. And, you know, there's been some close calls for me that tells me, you know, I'd rather be standing instead of laying out in the road because some idiot on a cell phone, you know. So we decided to get off the motorcycles, and when I did, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to continue with Backwoods Biker Magazine. I mean, that's just kind of Rex, right? So, you know, Wood Tramp Outdoors has been in the makings for a long time, and it's like, man, it's time to do it. Going to get rid of the motorcycles, get rid of all that stuff, and just really embrace what I love to do, and that's being in the outdoors. And it's going to be kind of a different magazine in the fact that we're going to have more celebrity guests. It's going to be about how-tos and whys. And it's going to be question-driven a lot of times from folks like you. So, with all that being said, Wood Tramp Outdoors is proud to endorse BattlBox. This is Mission 107. Let's just get off into this dude right now. This month in the basic box, and by the way, basic box is $34.99. The advanced box is $64.99. The Pro box is $119.99, and the Pro Plus is $169.99. And one builds upon the other. So it's always, we've always found it to be the best bang for your buck that you can get out there in a subscription box that is centered around outdoors. All right, let's talk about this first basic box. There's 4 items in it. And the first one is funny. It's funny, just what they call this. It's called Nose Slap. It's a 2-pack. And basically what this is, you know, is like a smelling salts. I don't know if you're old enough to remember smelling salts in the little breakable glass vials that would tear your up. You know, it'd wake you up right now, but it was some pretty rugged stuff. And this is kind of a upgraded version that has essential oils, but it does have ammonia in, I think. Let me see here. Does it? Yep, it does. Ammonia. You know, so that's kind of what really gives you the bark to wake you up. And then the essential oils is like it doesn't bite as bad as what I thought. But you know, if you look at Curran 1776 on his channel, I mean, he's just getting off on this stuff, bouncing around all over the place. Shame on you, bud. You shouldn't be doing that to yourself. This stuff will jack your nose up if you do too much of it, irritate it. So, this is something that we will put in our IFAC kit. Probably not. But a base camp med kit, absolutely. You know, because this is not something I'm thinking I'm going to need. If I'm out there and I'm by myself and I get knocked out, I'm not going to wake up with one eye and pick this up. So it'd be a waste for me to do that, But it'll go in a base camp bag, or even in an e-bag in a vehicle, or at my house. Yeah. This is No Slap, comes with a 2-pack, and all you do is bust open this cap, twist it, shake it up, give it 5 minutes, let it do its thing, and then open it up. It says about 6 inches you want it away from your nose, which I highly recommend that. And the good thing about this is that once you open it up, it will, if you put it back and you screw it down tight, it'll last up to 10 times you can use this. So that's a great ad right there. Also, you get a card from Nose Slap. All right, I love their slogan right here. It says, "We are on a mission to wake up the world one slap at a time." You ever met somebody you'd like to just give them a little slap, help them wake up? Anyway, okay. This is a card. Take 30% off. That is good. Your next No Slap purchase. But again, this has one of those expiration dates, and it's, I don't like expiration dates. However, that's their thing. So from No Slap, and you get a 30% card if you rush out real quick and get that. So the second thing in the BattlBox basic box comes from Uberleben, and we've learned to like Uberleben. They had the hexagonal ferro rod that was pretty good. They had the collapsible stove in the canvas bag. That was pretty good too. Uberleben is known for doing good stuff. And this month, it's called the Uberleben Tinder Teepee 3-pack. And basically, I'm not going to take this out and try to put it together for you because it's very, very fragile. But it's kind of like a project kit that I would not take this out in the bush. I'll be honest with you. This is not going to go out in the wilderness or the woods to me or with me for me to depend on to make a fire, especially not right now when it's like this. And tomorrow it's going to be 2 below, 3 below, and then Monday we're going to be below, I think 6 below, 7 below. So it's cold out there, and if you're farting around trying to make a fire with a project, you're going to get cold. But I tell you what this would be good for. It'd be good to give a young person, to get them interested in the outdoors. This is made out of Baltic birch, full panel design. Allows for perfect airflow. I don't know if you can see the picture on the back there of that teepee. Not to say it doesn't work. I mean, I'm sure it does. I saw Brandon Curran, 1776, get it going on there, So, but for me, it doesn't trip my trigger. But I would definitely pass this on to a young person. Matter of fact, I know the young man that I think I'm going to give this to. I got a grandson that would probably like starting fires. So I'll give that to him. So that's your second item in this month's basic box. And then the third item is called Wicked Wax. It's a 2-ounce tin. And this is kind of like a fix and wax, or just about anything, that you can do. But you can rub your finger on this. It begins to emulsify it. You can use it on dry lips if you want to. It's food grade, so it's not going to hurt you. All natural stuff in here. But there's a lot of applications you can do with this stuff. Let me see. The primary use is to make metal rust resistant. Okay, and I can see that happening right there. You've seen our bush butter from Wood Tramp gear, and I wouldn't say it's in the same. Well, it might be in the same category, but it's just got kind of a different approach with ingredients. But you could put this on zippers. You could put this on lips or whatever. Little boo-boos on your arms or fingers or whatever. You can treat wood handles with this, leather. The list goes on and on. Anytime you can put something like this in a kit for maintenance, it's lightweight, it's small footprint, it's not going to get in your way. You know, maintaining your stuff when you're out in the woods is very, very important. And this does it. It says 100% food safe and all natural. And it's manufactured by Wicked Industries. No chemicals. That's a great ad too. All right, this next one, last one in the basic box, comes from Exotac. And we know Exotac makes some pretty good stuff. And this is something that was sent to us 6 years ago. Something like that, maybe even 7 years ago. It is a free key slim system. It's just kind of a key ring on steroids, and you know, it makes it very simple to put keys on and off. Comes with 3 different small rings, and you got the main ring here, and you just pinch it, it opens up. No more busting your thumbnail or anything like that. We actually gave away the last one that we had here. Somebody saw it and was really joked about, so we just gave it to them. This one will probably hang around. I got some keys I could throw on here, but that's from Exotac. And if you don't know who Exotac is, they're one of the premier USA companies that makes fire starters and just little gadgets like this. So that's a great ad too. You're into this for $34.99. Then our next box is the advanced box, and this has a blade in it. Now I can't tell you where I got this one from, but this is an Ulu, and I have never been among the indigenous people of Alaska, but I know the brief says that was the origination, and it very well could be. I don't know, but I can tell you in the time that I spent in Nigerian bush with the Ibibio people, I watched them using something very, very similar to an Ulu, and they used it processing bush meat, skinning, cutting up parts. I watched them cut up chickens with these. I watched them process, what is that? The cassava plant that they make fufu and gari out of. That's a food that they eat there. And you eat it too, but you don't realize what it is. You ever had tapioca pudding? That comes from the cassava, those little balls. So it's a very high fiber, starchy type of product. But yeah, that's where I saw these used. And I can't tell you where I got this one, but what I've done is I've skinned and I've cut up rabbits with this. You make quick work of them. And, you know, hadn't even thought about it anymore. And then this month, from Dead Fish, this is the Dead Fish Ulu. Okay, and we've seen a lot of stuff from Dead Fish through BattlBox, and the reason they keep going back to the well is because they got great products and everybody happens to love them. This month they put in their version of the Ulu, and when I saw this I was like, you know, that right there is pretty stinking dope. And I got to tell you right now, if you start handling this sucker, you got to be careful because it will lay you wide open, you know, fart around with fingers. Man, I don't want to cut my blanket. Stop that, man. But I mean, it can cut stuff right now, man. Look at this. Yeah. But for processing game, it's good for deer, elk, bear, whatever you might want to do. As I said, I've done smaller game with this smaller blade here, but you know, as we looked at this, it was like, you know, this is going to give you a little more advantage, because that's one of the things that I found out with this is that this short end right here kind of shorten you up a little bit here. And the wooden, this is Italian olive wood, I believe. That's beautiful stuff. You could actually use your wax on this dude, right? Check it out. Yeah, check this out here. Just emulsify it a little bit. Put that on there. Look at that. Now we're protecting that wooden handle. Don't you dare slip up on that blade, dude. That sucker will cut you. Yeah, look at that. Doesn't take a lot. And it'll put a protectant on it. So we're getting infomercial. No smell-o-vision here. It doesn't have a smell to it. And look, just put that on the blade, away from the cutting edge, like so. And because it is food grade, you don't have to worry about keeping it washed off. All right, so now this dead fish ulu is not only a nice blade, but it is also protected, right? Now, I'll tell you something else you can do with it since we're on this kick. See this leather sheath, just like bush butter? You can use this wicked wax in the same fashion. And those threads will love you for it. The leather will love you for it. I put it everywhere on these sheaths, especially on the welt. Yeah. You know, this is a great ad for those of you that are looking for a maintenance product. And then, you know, just for fun and giggles, I always throw a little bit inside of whatever sheath I'm using bush butter on. You know, this isn't bush butter, but it's you know, same type of product. Right? Goes right in here. So every time that you now put your ulu into the dead fish sheath. Wait a minute, did I get that right? Nope, I did not. I had it in backwards. There we go. Now we're talking. Yeah, how can you not love that? A little greasy though. Okay. Here we go. That's your Dead Fish Ulu Advanced Box, Mission 107, January 2024. That's pretty nice. You know what? I'm going to just use this stuff on my hands and get this guy where he needs to be as well. It's been a while since I treated that handle. You know, I use this stuff during hunting season and that's it. You know, and haven't been out rabbit hunting or squirrel hunting yet this year, but I will be. So that is your advanced box right there. Beautiful blade, very usable. It's a utilitarian type of blade. You just don't want to throw it up in your collection. This is a great wilderness type of blade. All right, so that takes us to the Pro Box. And this month's Pro Box comes from Solo Stove. It's not the first time that we've seen anything from Solo Stove. I've had a few of them sent to me from Solo, and we found out right away that they're a good company, have a great product. They've got them from little tiny ones up to great big ones you put out on your patio. But this month, this is the Solo Stove Titan, and I think this is the second Solo Stove we've seen in a BattlBox. But these stoves are based upon the concept of the secondary burn, okay? You know, Todd Albee is the guy that really put that on the map. You know, you got a primary burn with regular stoves and you lose a lot of energy. They're not very efficient, but because of the way these are designed, you've got these holes here. It's a double wall is what it is. And what happens when you burn your fuel, it heats that secondary gas. Whenever you have the primary burn, it gives off gases. When you're out in a fire, around a fire, and you see all that movement going on, that is the fuel doing its thing. That is a chemical process that releases, as it gets hot, releases those gases. And as they're going up, you're saying bye-bye to a lot of energy. With a stove like this, it heats up that secondary gas, and it comes out through these holes here and burns a second time. All right, and that's your stove right there. I mean, you put your fuel in here, you get it going, you put your burner up on top, and this is very solid. There's nothing flimsy about that. That's what we like about Solo Stove. They've always put rugged products together. This is made out of stainless. I don't know what type of stainless. It might say. Stainless steel is all it says, you know. And it's not that heavy. It's only 16.5 ounces, you know. So that's pretty cool. 5.1 inches, 7.9 inches high. You know, it's a little bigger than the last one you saw. Great bush stove. It isn't so small that it can't carry the mail, because a lot of these stoves do. They pose this problem of being real small, but they're so small you can't even use them. Your cups fall off, your pots fall off. This guy is big enough to where it will not allow that to happen, yet it's small enough to where you can pack this in and pack it out. You know, a day pack would accommodate this thing. It comes with a stuffed sack, Solo Stove, or it happens to be one of those companies that produces they provide a nice stuff sack with almost all their products, everything that we've seen, right? We get stuff from companies where we call them suck sacks because they suck. They're too small to do anything with them. But Solo Stove always gives you an ample stuff sack. All right, so that takes us to the Pro Plus. Now, I don't think I mentioned this, but you know, the advanced box with the Deadfish Ulu, that is $64.99, and then what we just saw was $119.99. And you get everything for $119.99. You get everything in the Pro, the Advanced, and the Basic box. So, I mean, that's a lot of bang for your buck. But this next offering in the Knife of the Month Pro Plus box at $164.99, or no, $169.99, is one of those blades. It's just like, wow. I have never personally met Doug Marcaida, but I have friends who have, and they tell me he is a super individual that is extremely knowledgeable in the arts of knife self-defense, knife fighting, strategical and tactical techniques is his forte, and he teaches government agencies, private classes, and the two friends that I'm speaking of met him in a private class, and they said he's superb, and his knowledge of using a knife in those scenarios is just off the charts. But not only does he teach them, but he has been designing knives for quite some time now. Now, you know him probably from Forged in the Fire. He's the guy that has that spooky little look and that saying says, "It will kill." That's Doug. And this is his Grand Fratello design. Look at that, man. That is one humdinger of a blade. Now, let's talk about the bones of it. It's got an 8.5 inch blade length. It's 12.25 inches overall. That's a lot of blade right there. Weighs 16 ounces. It's made out of 420 stainless steel and comes with a top grain leather sheath. Now, it doesn't say exactly where this is produced at, but these are also numbered from BattlBox. This one happens to be 4,190 out of 6,500. So they're going to make 6,500 of these knives for BattlBox only before they hit commercial production out on the street. And all of us with BattlBox are fortunate enough to be able to get one of these knives. Now, let's talk about performance on this. I haven't had it out myself, haven't taken it out. But from those that we have heard from, they have really applauded it in regards to shelter building and building fire lays, those types of things. I haven't talked to anybody that has trained with this knife defensively or tactically at all. But I would tell you that if Mr. Marcaida put that thought into this knife, then more than likely this will be a deadly blade for someone that might try to hurt you, to where you have to protect yourself if you have the right training. That is the deal, right? Great ad. Man, I'm excited about this knife and look forward to getting it out in the woods and seeing what we can do with this. So that is your BattlBox for January 2024, Mission 107. What a great way to start out the year with such a great box right there. The Solo Stove is awesome. That Ulu is just really awesome as well. I look forward to using that. Just everything. So until next time, you guys stay safe out in those woods. Check out Wood Tramp Outdoors magazine. When it hits, you're going to be notified when it hits the street. And I think that you're going to enjoy that even more than Backwoods Biker magazine. You guys take care.